Shady Lane, which runs along the Arboretum's eastern boundary, was built around 1850 to take noisy traffic away from the vicinity of Stoughton Grange. The Arboretum is an attractive open public space on the southern boundary of the City of Leicester. Recreational, botanical, wildlife and historical features make this a popular space. There are over 500 species of trees, and a fenced nature area has been planted with native trees and shrubs and a sown wildflower grassland. The southern section of the site below the brook is predominantly grassland, and is managed as meadow or rough-mown grass to encourage species and wildflower diversity. It is surrounded by a Breedon gravel footpath and crisscrossed by a well-developed system of grass paths. The northwest part of the site, known as Piggy's Hollow, is the site of a former medieval moated manor house and associated fish ponds. In 1942 a camp was built on the site now occupied by the Arboretum to house the 82nd American Airborne Division prior to the D-Day landings. In 1945 the camp was turned into a prisoner of war camp, and, following its decommissioning in 1947, was occupied by squatters until it was dismantled, bulldozed and levelled.
The camp was full of prisoners of war, Polish mainly, and all around here, these were the American aerodromes up here, and it was the first time I ever had a ride on a horse at the Dartford Road here to come by, and this young girl took me on the horse and showed me everywhere that was going, and it was in them days very good, and they were very friendly people as well. I mean, Mum and Dad's tree is in the bottom part, and every now and then I come down and have a talk to her and Dad, and you know, it's been 1940, 42.
During the period from 1948 right through to the late 1960s, the Gartree Riding School used the site. The Leicester City Council established Shady Lane Arboretum in 1970 as the city's contribution to the European Conservation Year. Designating the site as an arboretum saved the land from possible development and secured its future as a public open space. It was developed between 1970 and 1973 under the direction of the late Mr. George Page, Parks Superintendent, during which time over 500 trees were planted. All were donated by local businesses, organizations, and members of the public. Many trees were planted by family, for instance, the poplars and willows in the southwest corner of the Arboretum, interspersed with random planting of other specimens of ornamental and native species. In more recent years, the northern part of the Arboretum in particular has been designated for memorial tree planting. Ornamental trees are planted by the City Council on behalf of members of the public who wish to commemorate relatives and friends. By the 19th century, most of the property belonged to Thomas Powerskeck, who sold his estate very shortly after the end of the First World War, the chief purchaser being the Cooperative Workers' Society. The number of meadows in Leicester has seriously declined in the last 60 years, and with them the insects, mammals, and birds associated with them. Managing the surviving meadows and finding opportunities to create new wildlife lawns and meadows in the parks and green spaces is very important in how we can conserve and encourage our wildlife in Leicester. The purchase of the Shady Lane site by the Leicester City Council was probably one of the best decisions they've made, and is well worth a visit.